Absolute harrowing news coming out of the rock climbing scene, with a new insane development to the portable situation. If you didn't know, portable is the world's smallest boulder problem. It contains many king lines on it, most famous of which is this V4 mantle and this V6 pinch problem. For as small as this boulder is, it actually weighs 70 pounds and looks incredibly fat to wrap your hand around. My favorite line on this boulder has to be doing a V0 highball slab while having it pinched in one arm the whole time. I wonder if somebody like Yves Gravel or a strongman could do like 30 reps of the V6 and FA like the most choss V15 of all time. Anyways, back in September of last year, this iconic boulder disappeared without a trace. While it has disappeared before, it's always been found within a day or two. But this time, it looked like it was gone for good. That is until January 19th of this year, when climbers in Bishop, California, a whole 19 hours away from Squamish, found this cute little guy sitting under the famous Iron Man boulder. Apparently this kind of makes sense because some random person on Reddit said that a lot of dirtbag climbers will do the annual Squamish to Bishop migration, and I guess portable just got caught up in it somehow. But the Squamish community were obviously not very happy about this, and as revenge, they began excavating the iconic Grandpa Peabody boulder to take back to Squamish. Just kidding, but what happens next is probably even more insane, because Ethan Salvo, a V16 climber and Squamish native, who is in Bishop at the time, decides to take this boulder home back to its rightful home. Fast forward to January 30th, and Ethan Salvo is house sitting for couple Delaney Miller and her husband Bud while they are out in Yosemite. To keep it safe, he takes portable into the house, then leaves for a party and comes back around 11 p.m. It is at this time when he realizes not only is portable gone yet again, but it has been replaced with a very cryptic note. Dear Ethan, I appreciate all you've done for me and your intent to safeguard my passage home. But every climber comes to Bishop to find themselves, and I am no different. My journey here is not complete. I am going climbing. Meet me where I was found, when the night is brightest. Yours truly, Portable.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
This same night, Ethan finds yet another note, along with a 2-page encrypted message shown on your screen here. So apparently the Zodiac Killer is back, but instead of killing people, he's just trolling rock climbers. It is at this point where Delaney checks the security footage of her house and finds 2 incredibly sus people looking over their shoulders as they approach the house, and one of them entering through the dog door. She initially assumes it's one of Ethan's friends or something, but understandably, she's also very weirded out. It's important to note that she only knows Ethan through a mutual friend of theirs, so she doesn't even want to call him about this because she doesn't want him to think that she's spying on him. But eventually, the situation weirds her out enough to call the mutual friend of theirs. The mutual friend instantly makes some parallels to the portable situation and encourages her to call Ethan about it, where he explains that he actually does not know who entered the door through the dog door. It is at this point where you have to realize just how freaky this is for both Ethan and Delaney. For Ethan, it means that there are people spying on him. They know that he's house sitting for somebody, and they would go as far as to break into this person's house just to troll him about some random boulder. For Delaney, a guy you don't really even know is house sitting for you when a group of people break into your house that has some kind of vague connection to this person that's house sitting. So who are these people exactly? Is it really the Zodiac Killer coming back to troll Ethan Salvo? Well, it turns out it was actually some of Ethan's own friends. The group apparently planned to give Ethan a bunch of these wild ciphers where each clue would give you the location of the next clue. So first it was supposed to be like the Iron Man boulder, and then Grandpa Peabody, and then a little life. And I think they were also planning on taking Portable to like Waco Tanks in Texas before returning it to Squamish. Now obviously, this whole thing is incredibly stupid, but what confuses me the most is that this group had to have seen all the backlash that was directed towards whoever first stole Portable from Squamish, right? Like, people were really out for blood, and they decide to do the same thing, but in the process also deeply hurt their friend and commit a felony all at the same time. Not exactly the brightest move, if you ask me. I also feel very, very bad for Ethan here because it seems like this whole situation like actually affected him a lot, and he was very worried that his reputation would be damaged. I mean, understandably so. But I think it's pretty clear that none of this is really his fault and that he did all he could to try and resolve the situation. He even dropped everything, including his own work, just to look for this boulder for multiple days. Which, if these people really are Ethan's friends, it's incredibly shitty of them to not realize that they've gone too far when it's clearly impacting Ethan to this degree. Not to mention breaking into a house that he was supposed to be taking care of. The homeowner, Delane, has decided to be cool and not release the names of the people who broke into the house. Which, huge props to her for being so understanding, but this is still one of the most brain-dead activities that I've seen in a very long time. Hopefully this is the end to the portable saga and it can be rightfully returned to Squamish, but honestly I have no idea at this point. Anyways, in other news, we have huge drama in the board climbing community, with Sean RHM doing the third proposed V15 on a board, with freeing Atlas at 60 degrees. Sean set this back in August and has tried it almost every session since. It supposedly fits to his shouldery climbing strength perfectly, and he said it felt like a clear step up from every outdoor V15 he's tried or done, including Echelo, Defying Gravity, and Sleepwalker. Unfortunately for Sean though, both Daniel Woods and Yannick Flohe did this boulder in quick succession, downgrading it to hard V13 or soft V14. To be honest, this doesn't make any sense to me because Sean has said this boulder is literally just his climb Evil Twin, already graded V14 at 55, but much harder and also at a steeper angle. So, you know, who really knows at this point? These downgrades are also personally offensive to me because Sean is like actually my GOAT. Like, this is like watching LeBron get posterized. I really hope this is like Sean's villain origin story and he just goes out and like downgrades Return of the Sleepwalker and Foundation's Edge as revenge. But I'm sure he'll come back much stronger from this regardless. We also have to mention the world's two new hardest climbs, which you've probably already heard about. The first of these is Sean Bailey's Duality of Man in Dry Canyon, Arizona. He apparently did this like almost a year ago at this point, which I honestly don't really understand waiting this long to tell people. Like, he's making Sean Rabitou look up to date with his ascents, but it might be because he wanted to wait for Mello's film tour, which is coming up later this month. I heard on both the Test Piece podcast and through other people that this is a good contender for the hardest sport route in the world, with the breakdown being an absolutely insane 514D into like V15 into like more 514 climbing. Just like absolutely insane. This crag is also known to be pretty hot year-round, so apparently he also did a lot of night sessioning here, which I'm not sure how that's even possible on a route, but maybe they have like 100,000 lumen flashlights that they're using. With this ascent, he has a pretty good argument for being the best all-around outdoor climber in the world right now, with the hardest route in the world potentially, as well as multiple V17 ascents, including Arrival of the Birds, which Aiden Roberts said was on the harder side of the current V17s. The second ascent comes from Connor Herson, who did the world's hardest trad route at a crazy 515A called Drifter's Escape. The route features some of the hardest trad climbing ever, with two V11 cruxes mixed in with sustained climbing, as well as having to place gear the entire time. He also apparently did this last summer, and my guess is the announcement is also because of the Mellow film tour. But regardless, I cannot wait for the footage of both of these ascents to come out because the photos from them both look absolutely insane. That's all for today's episode. Tune in next time for more climbing slop. Bye.